Hiya folks, welcome to my part 2 of my BETAFPV PAVO Walksnail conversion. Right, okay, so it's all built. I had to do a couple of plans that were changed slightly from the original. I'll go through them and we'll start with the Avatar Nano kit. Now, I was originally going to use the 1S version. I've since went out and bought this because what it is the voltage. It says on there, this camera won't pick it up because it's not that good. The input power is 3.1 to 13 volts. Now that's important because the other one that I had that I was originally thinking of putting into this only went up to 5 volt. When I measured the power leads that came out of the flight board that goes into the DJI unit originally, it was reading just over 9 volts, 9.35 volt. So that would have blown the VTX up. Now there is a way that you can solder it to the flight boards onto one of the UARTs and change it. But if you go on the BETAFPV website and look up not the model but the flight board itself, there'll be a long list on there. Read where it says about the you have to remove these caps off one of, I think it's like a voltage regulator thing, but you have to remove the cap. I think there's 2 of them to reduce it. I couldn't be bothered with all that, so in the end I went and bought the Avatar HD Nano kit V3, which is the race edition, the one that's supposed to give you like lower latency or higher latency, whatever it is, to do racing. That's providing you uploaded the firmware for it. It's got a 500 milliwatt VTX, so I decided to go for that, and I'm glad I did because it would have made the build a lot more simpler and a lot more nicer looking, as you'll see. And here it is. I've got the LEDs on there. I've got the HD kit built on there, and it's all ready to go. And I'll start off with the camera. It's got the 1S type camera on it. Let me get my pointy end. And you have to put a cage on there, which you get with the kit, and it will then fit the camera mount. I don't seem to be getting any vignetting or these ends in shot, although I haven't tried it on a sunny day, so I'm not sure. But if need be, these bits here, the ends can be snipped off, and you still got quite a bit to go on. Now the thing that I've had to do here is, this is where this camera will really fail. Right, you got that's the original DJI 6-pin plug. That's got to be converted to the other side to the 4-pin type. So what I did was I kept the DJI plug because obviously it fits in here, and I repinned the wires coming out of here. Where is it? Out of there. I took the 4 wires, depinned the plug, and then repinned the plug on this side. So the wiring's exactly the same. It follows red, which is your power lead, your ground, your white, and your grey. And you can't see the grey, it's sort of hiding behind there, but yeah, the grey. The other 2 are blank because they were PWM leads. So that was that side done. Now you also have to modify the cage. So you have to take these 4 prongs off that are originally on there and there. There are 4 light tabs. You cut them off. I use the diamond, a hobby grade diamond file, rather than Dremel it, because it leaves it all hairy and that. And there are 4 inner ones as well, but you don't have to take them off. You can leave them because they don't actually do anything. Now I've got a bit here, this square. Now you've got an X plate that sits on there that goes across like that. You can't put a square on top of an X. It just wobbles too much. So this is of a DVD case. What I've done was I got an old DVD case and I cut a square out of it, drilled 4 holes, and then mounted the VRX on, or the VTX on top. But you can't use cable ties, because if you want to go this way across, you've got a nippy cable in the way, and if you go across this way, you'll have these wires in the way there. So you could probably do it, but you're risking damaging them. What you could do, if you widen this, if you used a slightly bigger square, you could probably rig it and drill more holes in there to use the original VTX holes and bolt it on there. But I cut it short because of these tabs that were sticking out. So I just used the double-sided sticky tape on there. I used 2 just to give me a little bit of extra height, and that worked out okay. That I've been using this for years, and I've never had one come off. Unless you keep tearing it off and putting it back on again, you'll never get any trouble. Plus I've got the height now to update the firmware and stuff like that, so I can get to that plug. Right, originally you get a different type aerial with it. This is going to be another problem that I faced, and I was oohing and ahhing about this. You get one of these type antennas with it. Well, the trouble using this is the cable's too long. That inner cable is too long, so you're going to have to try and find a way to rig it up, and then it's going to stick too high, which then means you can't put it back in the box. So I've never had trouble with these whip type antennas. The circular polarized ones, they obviously work a lot better, but I've never had any problems with these. And also I can put this back in the box, because when I put the lid down, it just gently closes. It just lays it flat like that. So, and also in a crash as well, so that's protected. So that's why I went for this. And I did think about it now, because I really wanted to use this, but it would have worked, but it's too tall. It wouldn't fit in the box, and the cable's too long. Right, so that's that side. What other mods did I do? That was about it. The wiring was simple. You don't have to go into Betaflight and set anything up other than the on-screen display, because it's a bit muddled. The camera wire was really long. It was ridiculously long, so I've just tidied it up in there, and see, it's not in the way of the props or anything. And I may just put a loose cable tie on there just to stop it dropping into the prop line, because that's the prop line there, and that's where the cable sits. So yeah, I may just give it a very light sort of just tie it up in a bundle. This is what you're going to have to do with the ELRS antenna. You're going to have it facing sort of forward and down a little bit. Or even like that. Yeah, I'll just put the LED lights on there, and that's about it really. But yeah, it all looks factory. It all looks. I actually did this a few days ago. It was so simple. It didn't take any time at all. The hardest part was de-pinning it and re-pinning it. I already broke one plug trying to do it, you have to be very gentle with the little tabs, the little hooks, and because I used the original DJI cable, the plug, I had a spare one, but I actually broke the other one, and I was being very careful. So just use an X-Acto knife or something like that, or something very thin, and just gently lift the tabs up just enough to pull the wires out. So yeah, so the 4 wires go into there. It all works okay. I know the voltage is good. It won't exceed 13 volts. This isn't going nowhere. This air unit is rock steady in that. That won't be going anywhere. And yeah, I'll just, you know, just the small aerial, it just means I can put it back in the box, close the lid, and you know, I configured the lights to a switch like I did on my fly lens, because I don't want to be seen sort of like, you know, a bright blue LED shining everywhere I go. So I configured it to a switch, so when I land I can just flick a switch, LEDs come on. I can find it if it's in tall grass or, you know, hooked up on a tree or something. So, you know, that's how I configured it. Everything else was fine, binded okay. It's the channel mapping was correct, and believe it or not, all my flight modes and the beeper and the turtle mode, I didn't have to even go on the beta flight. It was all set up already, exactly how I do it. All you need to do is just change the on-screen display to how you like it, because it does come a little bit muddled, and that's it really. It's easy. So like there'll be a bit of flight footage after this piece, and I haven't set the camera settings. I've just left them stock just for now. Yeah, so you can undo the screws a little bit there and have the camera angle as high or as low as you want. It swivels quite far either way. So yeah, it's been a fun little build. As I said, I finished this a few days ago, so it was a very easy job. I had to buy another air unit, but you know, at least I won't be blowing this one up. It paired okay as well, so done it within seconds. And all the joints are nice now. There's no gaps or anything. All the screws are neatly done. You know, so yeah, a very easy build, very easy, and hopefully very enjoyable to fly. So yeah, so that was that. On to the next project, which I haven't come up with. Oh, one thing, if you notice, this is slightly off-centered. Right, well, I had to do that because this is the lead that goes into there, into the flight board, just about reached. And you got to have it slightly tight so the prop doesn't chop it off. See? So yeah, I had to configure, because the wire wasn't quite long enough. I had to mess around and get it to go as tight as I could all the way around, and then I threaded it through the original hole in the carbon there to make it all neat and tidy and out of the way of the props. So I had to shift this over slightly just to give me the length. But yeah, but it all works. Everything's working as it should. Camera's fine. Everything. Good little build that, and it only weighs 83 grams. I left that on there. That's from that's something you're gonna have to watch. This is a USB Type C connector, and it's a female. I didn't have any leads to plug it into Betaflight, because you don't get the lead with it with the USB, so I had to order one. But yeah, so that's why that's still on there, because I've just come off Betaflight. Anyway, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Here's some flight footage, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Hiya, folks. Welcome to my maiden flight of my Pavo 20 build, and this I'm going to be flying on a 550 milliamp tattoo battery, R-line, and straight away it's acting a bit weird because I'm in horizon mode. I haven't noticed on the screen that I'm still stuck in horizon mode, so I was wondering why I was getting bobbles on mid stick on the pitch, but that only lasted about a couple of minutes, and then I realised what's going on. One thing I noticed that it's flies like it's a bit on the heavy side, which is weird because it only weighs 85 grams, and the battery is about 47 gram. So, but for some reason it just feels very heavy in the air. But later on I discovered that it's not that bad if you fly it slow. I think what it is it could do with tri-blades on here, just for the bottom side of the throttle when you're trying to catch yourself, or if you just want to give it a little bit more throttle just to sort of gain a bit of height. It's like there's a delay, and you got to punch it harder than you might have, usually have done. I don't get that on the fly lens. I find that flies perfectly, but on this one, I don't know, it just feels a bit dumpy. Yeah, I think tri-blades might be the cure for that. Other than that, the antenna, when I extended it fully out and hanging down, when you put the battery on there, the antenna kind of blocks. It gets blocked by the battery. But saying that, my LQ didn't drop down, not even 1%. It stayed on 100, even on the other end of the field, going round the trees and everything, which I did on another battery. It stayed on a constant 100. So yeah, that was fine. No problem. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet because it was New Year's Day. It's freezing cold. I just wanted to get home. Just wanted this over and done with. I'm glad about I put the lights on a switch, because as you'll see at the end of the video, I hit a twig and I come down in some leaves. And although I couldn't see it with the eye, as soon as I switched the light switch on, I found it instantly. It was only about 10 meters behind me. Yeah, and I did it a couple of other times as well, where I landed near me at the end of a battery, and I couldn't see it, because the grass was a little bit long with the leaves and everything. It was hiding it. As soon as I flicked the switch, I found it. So yeah, I'm glad I done that. That helps a lot. But also, because it's set on a switch, I could switch it on mid-flight, which I did as well. And it didn't really seem to consume much battery, and to others it probably looked good. I can't see it myself, obviously, but yeah, so it serves, a few purposes really. Other than that, it's like I said, I want to try it on tri-blades. The VTX was alright, it wasn't too hot. Mind you, it was a cold day. I only had it at 25 milliwatts. Flying it around in 480. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a dull and miserable day anyway. Oh, and the camera was okay. I didn't get any shadowing on the camera cage at any time, so that's good. That won't need cutting down. And yeah, if it wasn't for the crash, I could have probably got about 6 minutes out of a 550 milliamp an hour battery. So yeah, seemed quite good. Just the low end throttle, I think it needs a little bit more oomph, you know, from a tri blade. But I'll be trying that anyway, see what happens. Uh, um, yeah, it's all good. I'm really pleased with it. Um, this is where I crash. Okay, guys, that's it now. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.